You let me know. Let me know when the students are here.
Yeah, we have almost all the students are here. I request all the students to turn your cameras on. We have a wonderful guest from United States of America. All the students, please turn your cameras on.
Oh yes, I'd love to see you.
Yeah, and I think 1 year ago, exactly, we happened to compose a world peace song along with my students. They almost worked well on this world peace song, but due to pandemic, the song we planned, in fact, didn't get materialized. I'm really
Oh, okay.
sorry for that. But definitely this academic year, I think I will try to make it possible, at least this academic year. Of course, with the new students. So the students that you are connected last time have already left the school.
Okay.
New faces I am going to try this time.
Oh, okay. That's great. That's really great.
Yeah. So students, and here is a great a guest from United States of America. And one by one, please introduce yourself and say something about your life ambition so that we can start this session. Please. Who is going to introduce first? Kusma, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
My name is Kusma Sri. I'm studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My future ambition is to become a software engineer. Thank you.
Software engineer.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, great.
So next, Tedipia.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Tekia. I am studying 6th grade. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My life ambition is to become a software engineer. Thank you, ma'am.
Wow, another software engineer. My goodness.
Nandini. Nandini, it's your turn.
Yes, sir. Hi, ma'am. My name is Nandini. I'm studying 7th class. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My future ambition is to become a doctor. Thank you, ma'am.
Great. Nice to meet you.
Next, Taslima.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Taslima Nasrin. I am studying 8th grade. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My future ambition is to become an English teacher. Thank you, ma'am.
Great.
Nagalakshmi.
Yes, sir. Hello, ma'am. My name is Nagalakshmi. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My future ambition is to become an English teacher.
Another English.
Thank you, ma'am.
Great.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Lohita and Ramalakshmi. One by one, introduce yourself. Lohita, Ramalakshmi. So are you not there, Lohita and Ramalakshmi? Then let's go for the other participants. Bhagyasri.
Yes, sir. Hi, ma'am. My name is Bhagyashree. I'm studying 8th grade. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My future ambition is to become a doctor.
Doctor. Okay, wonderful.
Runit, it's your turn.
Yes, sir. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Runit. I'm studying 8th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. My future ambition is to become an IAS officer in an administrative service. Thank you, ma'am.
You're going to be a software engineer. And what was the next part of that? I didn't understand.
So he wants to become
officer.
IAS officer, Indian Administrative Officer.
Oh, okay. I see. That's great.
That's the highest, I think, position in India.
Wow.
Yeah. So he wants to aspire to become IAS officer. And Kaushik, it's your turn.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Kaushik. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. My future ambition is to become a police officer.
Police officer.
IPS, Indian Police Service.
Wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, Ram Kumar.
Hi ma'am, my name is Ramkumar. I'm studying 8th grade. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My life ambition is to become a cricketer.
To become a, what was that?
So he wants to become a player of a game cricket.
Oh, cricket. Oh, okay, great.
As you know that Sri Lanka, India subcontinent, all the people, they are so crazy about this game cricket. And
Yeah.
like soccer in United States of America and in India, I think we are all so crazy about this game cricket. Commonwealth nations only play this game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Shruti, it's your turn.
Hello, ma'am. This is Shruti. I'm studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My life ambition is to become a software engineer. Thank you, ma'am.
And then software engineer. Okay. It's nice to meet you.
Jagadish.
Yes, sir. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Jagdish. I am studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. My future ambition is to become an army person.
To become, what was that?
So he wants to become an army personnel. So he wants to, yeah, and he wants to work at the border of Indian.
Oh, okay.
So I think almost all the students have introduced. Yes, I think Lohita, are you still available for us?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please try to introduce yourself.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Lohita Girja. I'm studying 8th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, watching TV, and dancing. My future ambition is to become an English teacher.
An English teacher. Okay. That's great.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Ram Lakshmi. I am studying 8th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. I will become a doctor.
A doctor. Wonderful. You all have wonderful ambitions.
So everybody have their own ambitions. Let's hope that they all realize their dreams. Let us hope that your dreams come true in future. And so, yeah, let's request our guest to introduce herself, because we know that she has been phenomenal in doing the social work. So Lauren, could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Lorraine Leo. I was a teacher in an elementary school, and I worked in a computer room where my students learned how to connect with people in different parts of the world. And I will show you some examples of that in a few minutes. So I'll look forward to sharing this with you.
Yeah.
So would you like me to begin?
Yeah, please. And we have a few questions. Of course, after your presentation, I think my students will ask you some questions.
Okay, sure.
I am going to enable you. I think that can allow you to share your screen. Yeah, I have just enabled you. You can share your screen from your side. Yeah.
Okay, you'll have to help me make sure that you can see what I'm looking at. Can you see this slide?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, great. And so the presentation that I'm going to share with you is what should I learn to become a global citizen? What should I learn to become a global citizen? And these are some of my ideas and some of the projects that I did to help my students think about what they could learn to become a global citizen. Let's see if I go to the next slide. I want you to think about learning to be curious. One of the things that I'm always doing is being curious about things. What is this like? What is it? What does it sound like? What does it taste like? What does it look like? Start to be curious about things. When I was little, I grew up in a small rural suburban community in New York State. I live in America, in the United States of America. And I was always wondering what it was like in other places. And I wondered, but I didn't get a chance to visit those places very much. And we didn't have Google Earth or Google Maps or Google Compute. We didn't have a computer. So we just learned things from books, from reading books and from watching some television that was available to us. But I was always curious. And so now I live in Boston. This is Boston. It's over here on the Atlantic Ocean. And I'm still curious, and I try to share that curiosity with the students that I live and worked with. This is me when I was 12 years old. And when I was 12 years old, my teacher told me that we would each choose a country that we would study for the entire year. And the country that I chose was Wales, W-A-L-E-S. It's in the United Kingdom. And I learned to dress like a person from Wales. I learned about the foods in Wales. I learned how to share information about the people in Wales. So I became very interested in the country. And this float or this model is a train station in Wales. And I made this train station so I could share about the information that I got from Wales. And I was curious about learning about other countries. So my friends and other shared information in other countries. Let me see if I go here. One of the things I learned very quickly, and I tried to tell my students about, is that we're not all on the same time zone. And when right now in Boston, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. And in New Delhi, you have it 6:30 in the evening. And in Rome, Italy, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I learned to be curious about different time zones and how that affects us. And I often use this time zone converter to help me to figure out where people live. And some of you probably do the same, to figure out where people are and what time it is in their community. I'm curious about food. And one of the things that I told my students when I learned about Wales was that it's interesting to find out about different foods and where do they come from and how is it made. And this is a grocery store that I visited just last week. And it had many different kinds of food, the pistachio nuts. And I wondered, where does it come from? Who eats them? What do they eat them with? And all of these different kinds of foods and some sweets that seemed very interesting to me. So I was curious again about different cultures and what they eat, because this is an international food store. And here's some flours and some grains that I learned a little bit about. It was very interesting for me to go to this grocery store and this food store that was international. And I don't know if you know Nutella. Nutella is a chocolate spread that you put on bread. It's very, very good. But this is one of the foods that I learned about in this, in this grocery store. So I was curious again about this. And here's other foods that we saw. One of the things that make me curious is, what do people eat? And I would talk to my friends. Last week, I talked to my friend Tanja in Latvia, and she was making dinner. As she was making dinner, she was sending me photographs of what it looked like she was cooking. And again, I was curious about, what does this look like? What does this taste like? She called this food that she made brushwood. And it was made with flour and eggs and sugar. And it looked very, very good. So she sent me the recipe and I haven't tried it yet. But again, as you start to explore different people around the world, you think about what they're eating. And I'm sure that what you had for breakfast is going to be different than what I had for breakfast. And we'd be curious to learn from each other. Another thing that I try to explain to my students and that I try to think about is, how can I make a difference in the world? Not a huge difference. It doesn't have to be something fantastic. It can be something very simple, but you're going to make the difference for other people. And it can be something as simple as something that is recycling, reusing, reducing, you know, the symbol. And just taking the trash that you have and making sure it goes into the recycling bin and taking care of the environment. That's one way that I would try to make a difference in the world. And that's a small way, but it makes a big impact on the rest of the world. So that's some of the ways. Another thing that we can do to connect with other people and make a difference in the world is share about where we live with other people in the world. And when I was teaching, I used ePals. I can't get into the site now because I'm not a teacher, but ePals was a way that I connected with many, many people. And I had friends in different parts of the world, and I would write to them. My students had friends in different parts of the world, and we would write. It wouldn't be a long letter. It would just be an email, or sometimes we used stamps and we sent a regular letter, but we sent to people in different parts of the world and learned from them. So that was ePals, and it made a difference in the world by sharing our community with other people. I have always been fascinated, as I said, with other countries, and I wondered what it was like to be living in those other countries. And I shared that kind of enthusiasm with children who were in my classroom. This is my classroom when I was a teacher, and I had flags. One of my favorite things are different kinds of flags from different countries. And every time we met with a different country, we had a flag to represent that country. I have all kinds of flags, including one from India. And these are the different countries that we connected with. And I had a world map on the wall so I could connect and see where were these people that we were connecting with. And we had computers that would help us to draw pictures and to write emails so that we would learn to make a small difference in the world by telling them about where we live. So that was my classroom. And it was one of my favorite places in the world because I could connect with other people around the world. Now, I have a friend who made a big difference. He was a teacher in a classroom, and he thought he could teach not only his own students, but he could teach the rest of the world. So he designed a website called Sites Alive, and this is still online. And he decided he would do his favorite thing. He wanted to be a sailor. He wanted to sail around the world and to share his ideas with other people who in the classrooms. So as he was sailing, as he was in a sailboat, he would send videos and he would send audio files and he would send emails to students who were following his voyage. And we followed him when he went around the world. I'll show you the next picture and you can see. He went completely around the world in a boat, in a sailboat, all by himself, not with anyone else, all by himself. He started in France and he went all the way around Australia, back up under South America and back to France again. He was in a race called the Vendée Globe, and it happens every 4 years. It's called the Vendée Globe. And my students, as he was sailing, would say, well, what's it like in this country that you're going by? And he would say he wished that he could stop there because he would like to learn more about the country as he was going by. This is his boat that he had. It was a big boat. It was called the Great American Four. He had many voyages. We followed him for 10 years, so he had many voyages. And this is one of the last voyages that he had, which was around the world. His name is Rich Wilson. He wrote a book about his race that you can get online. It's called Race France to France, Leave Antarctica to the Starboard. And my students were curious about what he would see. And in the book, he mentions all the students that were interested in learning about the Vendée Globe, or the sailing around the world. here you can, I'm not going to connect to the Padlet, but you can see kids in the classroom, and he was guessing what time Rich would get to his finish line, because he was curious about getting to his finish line. So we go back and skipped ahead. And here at the end of the voyage, he would come to talk to my students and answer questions about the voyage. He's in the back, he's way in the back. This is a different view of my classroom, and there's all the flags that I had on the side of the classroom. I taught in a Catholic school, and so there's symbols of Catholic. You can see the United States flag in the background over here. So these students were happy to see the sailor whose dream it was to share his adventures going around the world with students in different parts of the world. So he thought of a dream, and he shared it with many, many people. Maybe if you want to be a doctor, or if you want to be a teacher, or you want to be a police officer, you'll share your ideas with many people too. And so they will then be inspired to try new things, and they'll be part of this global community. Another friend was in Antarctica. She went to Antarctica to study the Adelie penguins that are in Antarctica. Her name is Jean Pennycook. Jean Pennycook studied the Adelie penguins to find out how global climate change affects the Adelie penguins. And my students would follow the Adelie penguins during the breeding season to find out what the effect of global climate change was on the Adelie penguins. So they were very curious about that. And she connected via Skype and answered their questions. The only problem with this now is because of the pandemic, Jean is not in Antarctica, but she will go there again next year. Hopefully everything will be better for her, and she'll be able to go back and connect with students. There's one of the Adelie penguins with the book, The Dot. Do you know the book, The Dot?
No, we have no idea.
Oh, no idea. Oh, it's a great book about, written by Peter Reynolds. And it's a book about making your mark, making your impact in the world. And we arranged for her to have that book down with the Adelie penguin so they could take a picture in that. I recommend the book.
I know one bet now.
What's that?
No, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
don't
Oh, okay.
Lauren, go ahead. Okay.
Okay. These are some impacts of what peace means. I asked people in different parts of the world just to do a very simple thing, and that was to translate the sentence, peace begins with me. And this is a Padlet where they translated peace begins with me in their different countries. And I'll give you that link so you can add yours if you'd like. Maybe somebody has their voice on.
Yeah.
This is a person that I worked with my students who wrote a song about what peace means to her. And I think what I can do is I can teach you that song. So she made an impact with her songwriting. She taught people in different parts of the world to sing this song. And it's a song that says, I've got peace in my fingers. And do you know how to do this? Can you snap? Does anybody know how to snap? I don't see anybody's video.
Yeah, everybody, they know how to snap it.
Well, they know how to snap. Good. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't see your videos though, so I can't tell. So the song goes, I've got peace, peace, peace in my fingers. Watch what I can do. I've got peace, peace, peace in my fingers. I'm going to shake hands with you. And then her next part of the song is, I've got words, words, words in my head. Watch what I can do. I've got words, words, words in my head. I'm going to talk things over with you. Then the next part of the song is, I've got love, love, love in my heart. Watch what I can do. I've got love, love, love in my heart. I'm going to give some to you. And then the final part is I've got peace, peace, peace in my fingers, words, words, words in my head. I've got love, love, love in my heart. I'm going to give some to you. And that's what Susan did. She made an impact. She liked to sing, and she was a teacher, and she taught many people the song that she did, and she made an impact on the world in her way. Another project that where people make an impact is called the World Peace Song, and your teacher mentioned the World Peace Song. The World Peace Song is where children around the world sing a song about peace, and they share it on a big Google map. So all of these dubs link to songs that children in different parts of the world sang. And I have a link here, but it's not going to work on this, so I will show it to you later. So that's the World Peace Song. These are children in Italy who, with their masks on, just like you were wearing masks, were singing the World Peace Song in their homes last springtime. So that's the World Peace Song. Another thing that I like to have my students talk about is learn to talk with people from many different places. And you saw that they learned to talk with people in Antarctica. They learned to talk with a sailor online. They learned to talk with Susan Salador, who is a musician. And they learned to talk with other friends around the world. And so here's an example of my students talking to Govinda Panthi in Nepal and his daughter. And one way that we made a difference when I was teaching is Govinda had a new school that he built, and he didn't have enough money to buy chairs for the students. So our students raised money to buy chairs for his students, and we sent the money to Nepal, and he was able to have chairs for his students. So that was a nice thing. And we learned that from connecting with him over the years. We didn't just meet him immediately, but over years, we established a relationship, a friendship, and we were able to help him when he needed some help. And here is me talking to people in Australia, in Taiwan, in Japan. We learn that different people have different views or ideas. Not everybody thinks the same way. If I talk to my friend about the weather, she may say, oh, I love cold weather. And I may say, or she may say, I love cold weather. And I may say, oh, I don't like it at all. People have different views and ideas, and we learn to accept those ideas, that we're all different in different ways, but we learn to live together. And that's one way that we can learn to become a global citizen, to be aware of different views that people have. In a simple way, the different view that we had is I had a Padlet, and I asked people, what is your view out your window? And I asked people around the world to answer that question. And what they did is took a picture of their view outside their window. And it was very, very different in different parts of the world. And this is a Padlet that people shared to show the different parts of the world they lived in and how they were very different. And this is a song, these are my favorite singers. These singers are people called the Women of the World, and they actually wrote the World Peace Song. One person is from Italy. George is from Italy. She's from India. She's from Japan. So Annette's from India. And then Ayumi is from Japan, and she is from America by way of Haiti. And they sing wonderful international songs. And we learn about the different cultures by listening to the songs. We may not agree always with their ideas, but we enjoy the music, and we enjoy sharing common bonds of understanding music through their language. These are recent pictures. This is a student in India. Shruin in Spandon, and here we are talking, and we're sharing about a hermit, not a hermit crab, a hedgehog. A hedgehog. My sister had a hedgehog, and she shared that with my friend in Russia and my friend in Africa, in Tanzania. So we're able to share ideas with other people, and we can learn to become a global citizen by sharing our ideas with other people in other parts of the world. And so we're all part of the same world, and we learn to be just a little bit different than everyone else, and we're all part of one unit. This is a tree that was sent to me by children in India, actually, and each thumbprint shows that they're individuals, but together they make a beautiful tree. So that's the PowerPoint that I share. And I know I spoke fast, so it's a little tricky, but I hope that you understood a little bit about what you can do to become a global citizen in different ways, being curious and make a difference in the world and talk with people from different places. And so that's what I had wanted to share with you today.
So, Lorraine, actually, I have no words, in fact, to describe your achievements as a teacher. So you are all through the world, and so I think you are truly inspirational for these upcoming teachers and as well as the present teacher like me. So many.
I can imagine that you're going to have wonderful teachers because you're a great role model. So I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, so in fact, now and then I see some posts on Facebook. You are also closely working with Manjula from Sri Lanka. And yeah, so we are so fortunate enough to collaborate with you because you are introducing many incredible scientists of NASA and to the rest of the world. So what a great opportunity for the people of Sri Lanka and the rest of the world. So I would also wish to collaborate with you. I would like to, to introduce one of the greatest scientists of NASA, at least with my Indian students. And
yeah, when we have a presentation again, we'll definitely have to invite your students and you to enjoy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have a few questions and still 6 minutes time is left. And if the time doesn't permit me, and I have to request you to reconnect one more time to complete the questions.
That's fine.
Meanwhile, students one by one ask your questions, please.
Sir, can I?
Yes,
Sir,
please.
can I ask?
Yes, one of you.
Sir, can I?
Pavitra.
Yes, sir. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Pavitra. I am studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. My future ambition is to become a software engineer. Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Sure.
What do you suggest to those who want to become teachers?
To become teachers?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I suggest that you follow that dream, whatever dream it is. If you want to be a teacher, then take every opportunity to learn and to teach and to connect with people and to just continue to be a part of the global community. So I would say start with having an e-pal, having a pen pal, and learn from that person and share that information with your family. And also just share whatever you've learned with other people, because at every age that you are living, you learn something and you can share it. And as you become more and more experienced, you will become a great teacher because you'll have lots of experience sharing with other people. But follow whatever dream it is. And if it's going to be a teacher, then definitely continue to teach, even as a child. When I was little, I loved pretending that I was teaching. Did you ever play school? Did you ever play school with your friends? Did you ever try to teach your friends something new?
Pavitra.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes. So you learn and you're able to teach and share with other people what you've learned.
Pavitra, you got it, I think. Did you understand?
Sir.
Okay. Another question. Shruti, would you like to ask the question?
Yes, sir. What would you mind suggesting as some ways to become a global citizen?
Oh, sure. I think that if you're curious about things and always asking questions, if you try to do small things like reduce, reuse, recycle, you can make a small difference that way. If you try to connect with other people and learn from them as an e-pal or as a friend, you can make a difference in sharing your community with other people. And you can learn and listen to music from other places and learn about what it is that makes the other people interested in their world. So you try to learn about other people's music, and those are ways that I would try to become a global citizen.
Okay, thank you. One more question.
Can
Usma,
I?
Usma.
Shall I ask a question?
Yes.
How to improve our communicative skills?
I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry. Could you repeat?
How to improve our communicative skills?
How do you improve your communicative speech?
Yeah, communicative skills. That's what she is asking.
Lots of practice. Practice with other people. And you're doing it right now. You're practicing. I can understand you and I'm in America. So you're speaking a language that I can understand. So you are practicing your communicative speech. If you started speaking Hindi or you started speaking your native language, I would not know what you were saying, but you're speaking English, and because you're practicing, I'm able to understand what you're sharing with me. So keep going, keep practicing.
So yeah. So Nagalakshmi, do you have any question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
What are the most needed?
I didn't hear the question.
What?
So Nagalakshmi. So Lorraine, I have to do one thing, and let me end this session. So I request you to reconnect. Students, could you please reconnect one more time so that we can finish those questions from our guests?
So I should leave now?
Yeah, I'm ending right now, and I request you to reconnect one more time, please.